Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. In this short reminder, I want to speak about a very important section from the Quran, focusing on halal and haram. And this part of the Quran found in Surah Al-A'raf, it's actually two verses, verses 32 and 33 of Surah Al-A'raf. It deals with the very definition of what is halal and what is haram. It's very important because growing up in my society, we kind of had this idea that everything is haram. Everything fun is haram, and besides doing acts of worship, everything else seemed to be off the menu. And when I actually started studying Islam and studying the Quran and studying Hadith and studying the books of fiqh, I learned that that's not the case. The case is that everything is halal unless the Quran or the Hadith or Qiyas or Ijma, any of the principles of fiqh, lead to the conclusion of it being haram. And so this gave a whole new mindset to understanding halal from haram. And this entire concept is based on these two verses from the Quran. Right? This is in Surah Al-A'raf, verses 32 and 33, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Qul, say to the people, Man harrama zinatallahi allati akhraja li'ibadihi wa tayyibati min ar-rizq. Say to the people, who has made haram that which Allah has brought forward for His slaves and the pure rizq, the pure sustenance of this world. Qul, say to the people, Hiya lilladhina amanu fil hayati dunya khalisatan yawm al-qiyamah kadhalika nufassilu al-ayati liqawmin ya'lamun. Say to the people that these things, the good things of this world, are for the believers fil hayati dunya, in this worldly life, and only for them in the afterlife. Now Allah says that the good things of this world are for the believers in this life and only for them in the afterlife. Like this, I have explained my signs for those people who know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues and He says, Qul, say, Innama harrama rabbi al-fawahisha ma dhahara minha wa ma batan. My Lord has only made haram all forms of immorality, that which is secret and that which is open. Wal ithm wal bagh, and sin and acts of transgression. Wal bagh bi ghayri haqq, acts of transgression without any right. Wa an tushriku billahi ma lam yunazzil bihi sultana, and that you ascribe anyone as partners to Allah without evidence. Wa an taqulu ala Allahi ma la ta'lamun, and that you say about Allah that which you do not know. These two verses of the Quran are so powerful. The first verse informs us that in this world, the things of this world are not just halal, but Allah made them for us to enjoy. That in the afterlife, we will be the only ones to benefit from it. Those who believe and those who do righteous deeds and those who manage to get to Jannah, may Allah make us all from them, will be the only ones. The believers will be the only ones to benefit from the halal things in the afterlife. In this world, believer and disbeliever alike use it, but Allah says, I made it for the believers. Meaning all the halal fun things out there in the world, Allah made it for you. He created it for you. So who is making it haram? Allah asks, who made it haram? Allah did not make it haram. So why are you making it haram? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the next verse, He tells us exactly what He has made haram. Allah says that He has only made haram immorality, sin, transgression, shirk, and speaking about Allah without knowledge. So all of these sins in this world fit into one of these five categories. First, Allah speaks about immorality, and He speaks about two types of immorality: that which is done secretly and that which is done openly. Now, nowadays, people tend to treat these two as separate issues. That if someone's doing something immoral in private, people think, oh, it's fine, nobody, is getting hurt. While Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that both of it is haram. Whether your immorality is done in secret or whether it's done openly, both is haram. Now, immorality done publicly is even worse. Why? It's even worse because it encourages others to be immoral. Look at many countries around the world today where pornography and dressing in immoral ways have become a norm. As a result, more and more people are encouraged to do so, and people feel discouraged from being modest. So therefore Allah has prohibited this. Allah says that only sins are prohibited. So anything which is listed as a sin in the Quran or Hadith is prohibited. And transgression without any right, meaning killing or hurting someone without the right to do so. So what would be the right to do so? If someone is trying to kill you and you defend yourself, that's the right to do so. So if you don't have any right to fight someone, general norm in Islam is that we are people of peace. We only fight when we have the right to do so, when it is against transgression. And then shirk, which we all know to be the greatest of sins. And finally, very importantly, the verse mentioned that Allah has prohibited speaking about Allah, speaking about His religion, speaking about Islam without knowledge. Notice that speaking about Islam without knowledge is mentioned after shirk. It is a major sin. It is from the kaba'ir. So for someone, looking in the context of these two verses together, for someone to be speaking about the deen and saying Allah made this haram, and he has no evidence from the Quran or the Hadith or the principles of fiqh that that thing is haram, for him to call it haram, this is speaking without knowledge, and this is a major sin. And therefore we need to be very careful about using the word haram. If there is no evidence of something being haram, we cannot just go around calling it haram. I mean, there are people out there who call almost anything of this dunya as haram, and that's wrong. You can say I don't like it, you can say I think it's wrong, you can say I'm not comfortable with it, you can say I think it might be something prohibited, I need to check it up, but you can't just call it haram without evidence. To say that something is haram, you must have evidence from the Quran or Sunnah, any of the principles of fiqh. So therefore, brothers and sisters, understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the halal things of this world for us to enjoy. The majority of things you see in this world are halal, as long as it does not fall into the category of sin or transgression against somebody else's rights or any form of immorality. Anything which is outside of that is halal. So you can enjoy doing things of this dunya which do not fall into the category of haram, whether it's sports, whether it's other forms of technological entertainment, whether it's spending time with your family or friends, whatever it is, as long as it does not contain elements of haram, it is fine to do, and as long as it does not cause you to neglect your duties as a believer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created for us a very practical religion, a very practical way of life, and the laws He has revealed are very practical. He has only made haram that which is harmful, and everything else He has left halal for us. So hope you benefited from this reminder. Jazakallah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.